Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone on this Wednesday, and we're continuing with cricket. All 6 teams in the Caribbean Premier League have released their list of retained and signed players for the upcoming season, set to begin on the 29th of August. And let's have a quick look at that list now for the teams. Let's start with the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, owned by Krishna Prasad, the Guyana-born franchise owner who shifted his investment from the now-defunct Jamaica Talawas, and their signed players include Imad Wasim, Brandon King, Fabian Allen. There's Omar Zai as well, Mohamed Amir, and Chris Green. All solid players there in the Antigua and Barbuda signed players. Barbados Royals, they have retained Robman Powell, Jason Holder, Rakeem Cornwall, David Miller, Quinton de Kock. There's Tikshana as well, and Alec Athanaze also among the retained players for the Barbadians, along with West Indies World Cup pacer Obed McCoy and Naim Young, former outstanding West Indies under-19 player. The champions, the Ghana Amazon Warriors, they have returned Imran Tahir, Shimron Hetmar, Saim Ayub, Shea Hope is there as well, Romario Shepherd, Azam Khan, Gudakesh Moti, and the bottom list there including the likes of Kemo Pole, Kevin Sinclair, and the Australia Test Wonder Boy Shamar Joseph, Kevlin Anderson, Junior Sinclair, also a part of the Ghana Amazon Warriors setup. They are, of course, the defending champions. Here are the Trinbago Knight Riders, whose parent franchise, Kolkata Knight Riders, recently won the IPL, and they have retained Kyron Pollard, Andre Russell, Sunil Ryan, Nicholas Pooran, Tim David, the Aussie, Jason Roy, the Englishman, Dwayne Bravo, the veteran, and Jaden Seals also retained there, along with Akil Hussain and Casey Carty, and, Terence Hines, Josh Little. Pretty solid Trinbago Knight Riders roster there that we're looking at. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, they have retained Evan Lewis, who has disappeared from international cricket, Sherfin Rutherford, Shikanda Raza, Tristan Stubbs, Adine Smith, the Jamaican, has been transferred, Dominic Drakes retained, Hasaranga signed, and among the others signed we have Riley Rousseau and Noan Tashara, and Johan Lane has been retained, along with Ashmead Ned and Andre Fletcher, and Rutherford among those retained as well, as I just mentioned. So St. Kitts and Nevis roster there. The St. Lucia Kings, they have retained Faf du Plessis, Alzari Joseph, Roston Chase, Johnson Charles, Matthew Ford, and they have also retained the likes of Cara Pierre, McKenny Clark, the St. Lucian pacer, Shadrach Descartes, who is another rising St. Lucian player, Henrik Clausen, and David Vise, and they have signed Noor Ahmad, and there's the St. Lucia Kings roster, players retained and players signed up for them. Yeah, so the CPL for 2024 will start at the end of August, and
August 30 till October 7.
Yeah, and I think your first full exposure to high-level sport would have been the CPL many years ago.
Yes.
So you must have a special love for it.
I do have a special love for CPL, and to be very honest, Lance, when I was working back in Trinidad and Tobago, at my first job in the newsroom, that was my first assignment. You know, one of, as you said, high-level assignments, to put it just like you did. And it's something that I grew really, really close to. I'll say, you know, I have a personal attachment when it comes to the CPL, because every time it comes around, you know, I feel like I need to know everything that's happening. I need to be the expert on the CPL. And, you know, I look forward to, of course, seeing how the teams change. And that's the beauty of the Caribbean Premier League. Because although this year your team can look one way, it can look extremely dominant, next season you could look totally different. And I love that about the Caribbean Premier League. I love how they have included so many different international players into the setup. And I think this season, again, I go with my regular team, Trinbago Knight Riders. But I think all the teams on paper are extremely strong.
Yeah, I think what has happened in recent seasons of the CPL, Mariah, is that there is a good spread of high-quality players, international players coming in. So if you look at the rosters, many times it's a little more difficult now than when the CPL started for you to identify which are the stronger teams. And that has played out again here when we look at the rosters. Can we start with the defending champions and the Guyana Amazon Warriors, who have waited a long time to become champions after consistently playing so well for so many years. And good to see their roster setting up. A lot of familiar faces, and they look very strong again.
Yeah, they've signed Rahmanullah Gurbaz, who is a part of their squad in 2022. In that time, Lancey had picked up 2 half-centuries. So I'm looking forward to see how he comes back into the setup, and he does. Imran Tahir is back again, super captain, because of course he led the team to that Guyana Amazon Warriors' first CPL title last season. They are the defending champions, and a lot of credit has to go to Imran Tahir. I got the opportunity to speak to him a couple of times, you know, just about the cricket and how they were going about their duties. He even offered to help my sister, Karishma, with a little bit of advice once he could, you know, with her spin bowling and all of that. So it speaks to the character of the man himself. And of course, I think with him at the helm, if he's captain again, they'll be in for a big fight. They've also signed the Pakistani Saeem Ayub. We've seen how he has been going about his duties, really stepping up for his team. And Azam Khan, he's also back. He's playing in the T20 World Cup with Pakistan. He got 1 game so far. He's also back for the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and he's a favorite when it comes to the Guyanese crowd. Shimron Hetmyer, your player, he's also a part. Shea Hope. So you can tell the quality of this Guyanese setup, and I think they're going to put up a big challenge to ensure that they defend their title.
Yeah, can we look quickly at the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons then, Mariah, because all eyes will be on them. As I said, their ownership group shifting their investment from the Talawas to the Falcons here.
Yes.
And a couple of Talawas players now are part of the Falcons setup.
Yeah.
And they don't look a bad unit.
Yeah, you say a couple, but to me it looks like a Jamaica Talawas squad, because last year Imad Wasim was a part of that team. Brandon King as well. Fabian Allen was also a part of that team. I believe Mohammed Amir was also a part of the setup. Chris Green as well. So there are a lot of players that are coming from the Jamaica Talawas squad. I think this also looks like a really strong team on paper. But of course, you know, one of the things I say about these teams is really how the team gels. It comes down to chemistry during these matches, and how quickly they can adapt to each other, and how quickly they're willing to fight for each other. So again, Antigua and Barbuda Falcons looks pretty strong.
Yeah, and Joel Andrew, you read about him in your zone updates earlier.
Correct.
143 for the academy team in a losing effort against the emerging Ireland team, but a teenager with a lot of talent. We saw him at the Under-19 World Cup. I think I'm very impressed with what I've seen from him so far. And the CPL will be an opportunity if he gets a lot of playing time. Playing opportunities.
To show himself.
Yeah, to show himself, I think.
Yeah, can I ask you from now, are you sticking to the Trinbago Knight Riders like you usually support?
Yes, that's still my team.
All right. Well, we're going to...
Barbados Royals. Can we look at the Barbados Royals? What's strong about them?
Yeah, sure. Come on, let's see. I want to see the team. All right, so we're looking at the Barbados Royals here. They have retained Mahesh Theekshana, and Lance, there's something very special about this player. He is from Sri Lanka, he's 23 years old, and he has been a part of this CPL setup for some time, because in 2022 he was signed to TKR. He didn't get his no objection certificate, so he never featured. That's why, you know, many people seeing his name will think he has not played before. Then he came back last season, 2023. He had to withdraw because he had to represent the national team at the Asia Cup. So although he's gotten the opportunity to be at the CPL twice, we have not yet seen him really light up the competition. So he's somebody I'll be looking forward to see really closely. And, you know, there are a lot of their regulars. Quinton de Kock and David Miller, they're back. Many people felt like the Barbados Royals didn't perform how they should have performed last season. They finished second from bottom of the table. So they will be expecting David Miller and Quinton de Kock to have a big part to play if they are to be successful this season.
Yeah, okay, so remember the CPL 2024, the Republic Bank CPL tournament starts at the end of August, and it will be, I can guarantee, just as exciting as it has always been for the Caribbean fans and the global watchers as well, because it's now become a huge international TV product as well. We go to break. Still a lot more to come on the SportsMax Zone. Back in a moment.